Life is a complex symphony of coordinated actions. Muscles contract, glands secrete, sensory information floods in. This intricate dance of life is orchestrated by the nervous system, a remarkable communication network that governs our every move, thought, and feeling. The nervous system is the body's control center. It receives input from our senses, processes this information, and initiates appropriate responses. The nervous system is divided into two main parts: the central nervous system, CNS, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS. The CNS, comprising the brain and spinal cord, is the body's main processing unit. The nervous system is built upon billions of specialized cells called neurons. These remarkable cells are the fundamental units of the nervous system, responsible for transmitting information throughout the body. Neurons are like tiny messengers carrying electrical and chemical signals that dictate everything from our thoughts and emotions to our movements and bodily functions. Neurons have a unique structure that allows them to transmit information efficiently. A typical neuron consists of three main parts: the cell body, dendrites, and axon. Dendrites are short, branched extensions that receive incoming signals from other neurons. The axon is a long, slender projection that transmits signals away from the cell body to other neurons, muscles, or glands. The axon is often covered in a fatty substance called myelin, which acts as insulation, speeding up signal transmission. Neurons communicate with each other through specialized junctions called synapses. When an electrical signal reaches the end of an axon, it triggers the release of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. Imagine a bolt of lightning flashing across the sky. This is a crude analogy for how nerve impulses, also known as action potentials, travel along neurons. These electrical signals are the language of the nervous system, allowing neurons to communicate with each other and with other cells in the body. Nerve impulses are generated by the movement of ions, electrically charged atoms, across the neuron's cell membrane. When a neuron is at rest, the inside of the cell has a slightly negative charge compared to the outside. When a neuron is stimulated, ion channels in the cell membrane open, allowing ions to flow across the membrane. This flow of ions changes the electrical charge across the membrane, generating an action potential. Once triggered, it travels down the axon like a wave, propagating along the neuron's length. The speed of nerve impulse transmission is further enhanced by the myelin sheath. Imagine touching a hot stove. You instantly withdraw your hand without even thinking about it. This rapid, involuntary response is a reflex, a protective mechanism that allows us to react quickly to potentially harmful stimuli. Reflexes are controlled by a simple neural pathway called the reflex arc. The reflex arc consists of 5 components: a receptor, a sensory neuron, an interneuron, a motor neuron, and an effector. The receptor detects the stimulus. The sensory neuron carries the signal to the spinal cord. The interneuron acts as a relay station, connecting the sensory neuron to the motor neuron. The motor neuron carries the signal to the effector, which carries out the response. This entire process happens in a fraction of a second, allowing us to react quickly to potentially dangerous situations. Section 5. The nervous system's command centers, CNS and PNS. The nervous system is a vast and intricate network, but it can be broadly divided into two main branches: the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is the command center, while the peripheral nervous system acts as the communication network. The central nervous system, comprising the brain and spinal cord, is the body's processing hub. Encased within the protective armor of the skull and vertebral column, the central nervous system receives, analyzes, and interprets information from the peripheral nervous system. The brain is responsible for higher-level functions such as thought, language, and voluntary movement. The spinal cord acts as the primary communication pathway between the brain and the rest of the body. The peripheral nervous system connects the central nervous system to the rest of the body. It is further subdivided into the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Section 6. The brain and spinal cord, our body's control towers. The brain, a 3-pound marvel of biological engineering, is the crown jewel of the nervous system. Encased within the protective shell of the skull, the brain is the command center of the human body. The brain is a complex organ, divided into several distinct regions, each with its specialized functions. The cerebrum is responsible for higher-level functions such as thought, language, memory, and voluntary movement. The cerebellum coordinates movement, balance, and posture. The brainstem controls vital functions such as breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure. The spinal cord is the main communication pathway between the brain and the rest of the body. It carries sensory information from the body to the brain and motor commands from the brain to muscles and glands. Section 7. Plants on the move coordination without nerves. Plants may not have a nervous system like animals, but they are far from static organisms. They can sense and respond to their environment in remarkable ways. While they lack a centralized nervous system, plants rely on a decentralized network of chemical signals to coordinate their responses to environmental cues. One of the most striking examples of plant movement is tropism, a growth response to an external stimulus. Phototropism is the growth of a plant towards a light source. Gravitropism is the growth of a plant in response to gravity. Plants also exhibit nastic movements, which are rapid, non-directional responses to stimuli. One of the most well-known examples of nastic movement is the closing of the leaves of the Mimosa pudica plant when touched. Another fascinating example of plant movement is the Venus flytrap, which captures insects using rapid leaf movements. Section 8. Chemical messengers, hormones orchestrate life's processes. In the bustling metropolis of the body, communication is key. While the nervous system acts as the rapid transit system, the endocrine system relies on a more leisurely mode of communication hormones. These chemical messengers, secreted by specialized glands, travel through the bloodstream, carrying instructions to target cells and tissues throughout the body. Hormones are the body's long-distance communicators, regulating a wide range of physiological processes. Hormones act like keys that fit into specific locks, or receptors, on the surface of target cells. The endocrine system is a complex network of glands that produce and secrete hormones. The major endocrine glands include the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal glands, pancreas, and gonads. These glands ensure the harmonious functioning of the body's intricate systems. Section 9. Endocrine glands, the body's chemical factories. The endocrine system is a complex network of glands that produce and secrete hormones. These glands act as chemical factories, releasing hormones directly into the bloodstream. Each gland plays a crucial role in maintaining homeostasis. The pituitary gland controls the activity of other endocrine glands. The thyroid gland regulates metabolism, energy expenditure, and body temperature. The adrenal glands regulate stress response, blood pressure, and electrolyte balance. The pancreas produces insulin and glucagon, regulating blood sugar levels. Section 10. Hormonal harmony and discord maintaining balance. The endocrine system plays a crucial role in maintaining the body's delicate balance, known as homeostasis. Hormones act like skilled conductors, orchestrating a symphony of physiological processes. However, hormonal imbalances can disrupt the body's delicate equilibrium, leading to a wide range of disorders. These imbalances can arise from various factors, including genetic predisposition, environmental toxins, infections, tumors, and lifestyle factors. When hormone levels are too high or too low, the body's systems can go awry. For example, hyperthyroidism can lead to a rapid heartbeat and weight loss, while hypothyroidism can cause fatigue and weight gain. Imbalances in insulin production or sensitivity can lead to diabetes. Section 11. Feedback mechanisms, the body's self-regulating symphony. The human body is a marvel of self-regulation, constantly adjusting its internal environment to maintain homeostasis. This balance is maintained by feedback mechanisms that monitor and adjust physiological processes. Negative feedback acts like a thermostat, counteracting any deviation from the set point. For example, if you get too hot, thermoreceptors send signals to the hypothalamus, which activates sweat glands to cool the body down. Positive feedback mechanisms amplify the initial stimulus, crucial for processes like childbirth and blood clotting. In childbirth, the pressure of the baby's head on the cervix stimulates the release of oxytocin, causing uterine contractions. These contractions push the baby further down the birth canal, creating a positive feedback loop that culminates in the birth of the baby.